So today we're going to be doing a quick practice that is going to work on an arm balance. Koundinyasana, and it is a relatively simple while still challenging arm balance. Now I say simple because it was one of the first arm balances that I was ever really able to do. I was able to get into Koundinyasana way before I was ever able to do something like crow pose. And that might depend a little bit on your anatomy, but it might be true for you too. When I started to be able to access Koundinyasana, it was incredibly empowering for me. Wow, I can do this. And it just made me feel incredibly strong. So for that reason, I wanted to offer it up to all of you in case you're interested in giving it a try. So I hope you enjoy. All you need is your mat and yourself. Okay, so we'll begin seated on our mat. You can come to a cross-legged position. You can sit up on a block or a blanket, and we're gonna come with a nice tall spine, reaching up through the crown of the head. Bring your hands to rest on your knees. You can find a gentle gaze down toward the floor, or allow your eyes to fall shut, and just begin to draw your focus inward to your breath. And we will begin with some gentle movements of the arms and the spine. So bring your hands down beside your hips. And on an inhale, lift your arms up and overhead. And exhale, your right hand comes down by your right hip. Your left arm stretches up and overhead. Inhale, both arms come up through center. And exhale down to the other side. Inhale, both arms come up. And exhale down. Inhale, come up through center. And exhale down to the left. Inhale, bring both arms up through center. And exhale, take a gentle twist toward your right with your left hand on your right knee, your right hand behind the back, gaze over your back shoulder. Twisting through the spine, length through the crown of the head. Inhale, both arms reach up, and exhale, twist over to the other side. So to come into Koundinyasana, we're going to be doing some deep twisting. And also, we're going to need to work into warming up the shoulders. Inhale, reach both arms up. And exhale, hands to the knees. You can bring your hands down in front of you. Come to a tabletop position. So really grounding down into the palms of the hands, pressing the heel of the hand down and into the ground. Shoulder is lined up directly over wrist. Grip the mat with your hand, with your fingertips, so you sort of tent the fingertips up off of the ground a little bit, and then spiral your elbows, the inner elbows, toward the top of the mat. Now this position of the arms and the elbows is going to be really key when we come to our arm balance. So this is a really strong position to begin to work into bringing weight into the shoulders, the arms, and the wrists. Yeah? So from here, we're not going to be doing any arm balancing just yet, but we're going to begin to just do some cat-cows. So drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the hips, and then round the spine. And maybe inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the hips, and exhale, round into the spine. My spine is creaking and cracking as I wake this up this morning. Drop the belly. Inhale. And exhale to round. Nice. Inhale back to a neutral spine. And then we're going to bring our right foot forward and in between our hands. However you need to get it there is fine. You might need to take some baby steps and walk it forward, or just place it in between the hands. And then come up and lift the arms up to the sky for Anjaneyasana. This low lunge pose. So you're hugging your right hip back in space, and your left hip hugs forward, not forward of the right hip, but sort of squaring to the top of the mat, or square-ish. Inhale, lift the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands come down into this prayer position, and then we're going to hinge forward halfway and begin to twist using the strength of the core muscles to twist yourself around and to your right. And once you've gotten a lot of twisting, then you can hook the outside of the left tricep onto the outside of the right knee. Press the palms of the hands together and spiral the chest up and toward the ceiling. Take an inhale here and an exhale. Now, I want you to release your hands and just come to tent the fingers onto the mat around to the right side. This takes a lot of deep twisting, but we're going to revisit this position a little bit later, just giving you a little preview of where we're headed. Hands come back to prayer. And on your inhale, unwind. Both arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, hands come to frame off the right foot. Step the right foot back and come to your tabletop pose. Take that same position, other side. Notice how I'm still spiraling the inner elbows toward the top of the mat. Now take your left foot forward in space in between the hands, and then press your fingertips up to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Square the hips toward the top of the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Press the crown of your head forward in space. Use the strength of your core and twist, 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 twist to your left. Use all of that strength and then hook the outside of your right tricep on the outside of your left thigh. Spiral your heart up toward the sky. So we're in this deep twist. And then we're going to just experiment with bringing our fingertips down and to the ground. Right, so you feel what it's like to sort of tip forward in this knee down posture and this deep twist. So your fingertips are over and to the left. We're not bringing much weight into them, just feeling this change in position. Come back to your prayer twist. And on your inhale, unwind, reach your arms up into the sky. And exhale, hands come down to the ground. Bring your left foot back to meet your right, downward facing dog. Hips are up and back. You can pedal out the knees here. Bend one knee and the other. Take an inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend into your knees and look in between your hands. And then you can tiptoe, or you can hop, or you can step to the top of your mat. And then lift halfway. Hands come to shins, shoulder blades come down the back. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, hands come to center. Take an inhale, reach your arms up into the sky. And then exhale, and you're going to side bend over into your left. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, side bend over to the other side. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, hands come down through prayer. We'll take a few sun salutations. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift.
Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Here in plank pose, you can keep your knees lifted or you can lower them. Either way, hug your elbows in, shine the eyes of your elbows forward toward the top of your mat, and lower down, bend your elbows 90 degrees, hug them in by your ribs, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, tuck the toes, roll over the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. A long inhale, and a slow exhale. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look to the top of the mat, and step, hop. Arrive at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Inhale in plank pose. Exhale, shift your shoulders forward, bend your elbows, hug them in by your ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look in between the hands, and arrive in your way. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, just like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, plank. Inhale in plank. Exhale, shift your shoulders forward, bend your elbows 90 degrees, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Look in between the hands and arrive. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up, come to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step to plank and then hold it right here in plank. Option to lower the knees or keep them lifted. Tailbone lengthens down so it's angled toward your heels, toward the back of your mat. So we're not tenting our booty up, we're not lowering down. We've got a long straight line of energy, whether the knees are up or down. Spiral the inner elbows toward the top of your mat. So we're really gripping the ground with the hands, pressing the heel of the hand into the mat and gripping with the hands. Like you're opening the eyes of the elbows forward. Take an inhale here. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Lovely. Let's get into our flow now. Inhale, lift your right heel. Exhale, place the foot between the hands. Lower your left knee. And inhale, come up. Low lunge. Inhale, stretch your arms, your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Use the strength of your core to twist you around and to the right. This is your prayer twist. We've been here before, yeah? Take an inhale, unwind. And an exhale, hands come down inside of the right foot. Walk your right foot over and to the right a little bit toward the outside of the mat. And then you can walk your left knee back if you feel like that helps. You can lower down onto your forearms if that feels nice. If it doesn't, you stay up, right? There's no rules here. Just feeling sensation in the right hip. And that sensation might be quite loud. Notice that sensation, right? And if it feels a little too loud for you to maintain your presence in this position, you're welcome to back out of it. Take a long inhale and a longer exhale. Inhale, tuck your left toes. Lift your left knee up. Place your right foot back by the left, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend into the knees, look to the top of the mat and step up to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, bend into the knees, sink the hips back, reach the arms up, Utkatasana. And exhale, stand. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step to plank, and flow in your way. Or just press right back to down dog. Take an inhale, lift your left heel. Exhale, plant it in between the hands, lower the left knee down. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Press the crown of your head forward. Strength of your core pivots you to the left. In this low twist. Take an inhale, come back up through center. And exhale, hands come down inside of the left foot. Walk the left foot out toward the outer edge of the mat. Maybe walk your right knee back in space if that feels nice. You can lower down. Or just stay with your right knee on the ground, with your hands on the ground, however you like. If that's a little much on your right knee, you can always tuck the toes under and lift the right knee off of the ground. Beautiful. Take a long, slow inhale. And exhale. Inhale, tuck the right toes. Step the left foot back. Down dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look, and arrive, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sink your hips back, Utkatasana, chair pose. And exhale to stand. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, and go through your flow. Or meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right heel to the sky. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, come up, low lunge. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. And twist over into your right. Prayer twist, low lunge. From here, I want you to tuck your left toes under. And you have the option, if you feel good with it, to lift your left knee up and off the mat, coming into this crescent lunge with a prayer twist. Take an inhale, unwind, lift yourself up, crescent lunge. Beautiful. Exhale, hands come to the hips. Step your left foot forward about a foot. Straighten into the right leg. Pivot your right hip back. Left hip comes forward. You can take opposite hands behind the back for this reverse prayer position, or just leave the hands on the hips. Lift the crown of the head. And exhale, fold toward your extended right leg. Hands can come down onto the shin, down to the ground, or to blocks, or they can stay on your hips. Feeling sensation in the back of the right leg. Inhale, back of the heart space, guide you back up, stand, and exhale, left foot comes to meet the right. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step to plank, and flow or press to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left heel. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands, lower your right knee down. Inhale, press up, low lunge. Exhale, hands come down through prayer. Press your crown of your head forward and then twist from the core over into your right. From here, again, you have this option. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee off of the mat. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands come down into the hips. Step your right foot forward about a foot. Straighten your left leg. Find the position you want for your hands. It might be the same as the other side or different. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, fold forward. Notice sensation in the back of the left leg. Inhale, back of the heart space, guide you back up. Release your hands, right foot steps forward. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank, and go through your flow, or just meet me in downward facing dog. Take an inhale, reach your right foot to the sky. Exhale, plant that foot in between the hands. Leave your back heel lifted and inhale, come up. Crescent lunge. Now here in your crescent lunge, notice the position of your hips. You want to hug your right hip back, left hip forward, so you're squaring the hips as much as you can to the top of the mat. Take an inhale, reach the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Inhale, hinge forward. And from here, we're going to use the strength in our core just as we did before to twist ourselves over and to the right. Here we are in this crescent lunge with a twist. And from here, I want you to lower your left knee down to the ground. Now this is where we're going to try out Koundinyasana and just see how it goes. So from here, I want you to bring your hands down onto your mat, just like we did at the very beginning of our practice. Step your left knee over toward the outer edge of your mat, maybe even coming off of your mat just a little bit, and then walk your right foot toward the left side of your mat as well. And see if that allows you to bring your hands down onto the mat and making contact fully with the mat. Bend into your elbows so you begin to allow your right hip to rest on the outside of the right tricep. And maybe the left knee rests on the outside of the left tricep. And then just experiment with straightening each of the legs as much as they will, and then lifting, finding this sort of pendulum of balance for Koundinyasana. And when you're ready, lowering back down, placing your hands back at the top of your mat, lifting your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left heel to the sky. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands. Inhale, come up. Koundinyasana, or crescent lunge. Getting ahead of myself. Take an inhale here. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Hinge forward, press the crown of your head forward. Twist to your left. From here, you can lower your right knee down onto the mat. And then we are going to bring our fingertips down onto the ground and walk our feet and our knee back to the right side of the mat. Yeah? So so that we can bring our palms all the way down to the mat. Really shine the eyes of the elbows forward and begin to tip the body over onto your elbows, and then begin to experiment with straightening the legs. If you have furniture in the way, just let it be there. You might fall, and that's okay too. And then when you feel ready, bring yourself back down to the mat, hands come to the top, lift yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, lift your right leg to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, straighten into the right leg. Exhale, right foot comes down. Inhale, lift the left leg. Bend your knee, open your hip. And exhale, left foot comes down. Lower both knees down to the mat. Find a child's pose. You can open the knees out for a wide-legged child's pose if you like, or find your favorite variation of child's. So arm balances take a lot of practice and a lot about whether they're accessible to you or not depends on your own anatomy, the length of your torso and arms. So if you didn't get into Koundinyasana today, that's totally fine. Press yourself up to hands and knees. And then you're going to walk your knees forward and around, come down onto your back, knees tent up to the sky. When I say that arm balances are really empowering for me, doesn't mean that they will be the same for you. I offer them up in case they are, but this is my practice, and it's unique to me. Your practice is just as unique to you. Take an inhale, press your hips up into the sky, engage your glutes, walk your shoulder blades underneath the rib cage. Bridge pose. The important thing is to explore the poses and the practices that make you engage, make you feel embodied. Take an inhale and exhale, lower yourself down. You can windshield wiper the knees, left and right. We'll take that one more time. If you have a block and you'd like to go for restorative bridge, you're welcome to do that. Inhale, press your hips up into the sky. Don't forget to breathe. And exhale, lower. You can windshield wiper your knees again. Hug the knees into the chest. And rock and roll along the length of your spine. Come up to sit. Beautiful. Extend your legs long in front of you. Walk the flesh out from your sitting bones. Sit up tall in the spine. And bring your left leg in. The sole of your left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, lifting up through the crown of the head. You can reach both arms up to the sky. And exhale, forward fold toward your extended right leg. Inhale, walk yourself back up. Extend your right foot forward, or left foot forward. Your right foot comes into the inside of the left thigh. Inhale, extend up to the sky. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, press yourself back up to sit. Exhale, soles of the feet come in together.
bring your hands into, touch your feet. You can give yourself a little foot massage if you like. And then open the feet out like the pages of a book. Engage your glutes so that it presses your knees down and toward the floor. Inhale, lift the crown of the head. And exhale, fold forward any amount. Whatever version of Koundinyasana you got into today or didn't get into, it's really not the point of this practice. The point is to create stimuli for ourselves that challenge our bodies and our minds so that we know how we react to these challenges, and we can take that knowledge out into the rest of our lives. Hands come to the outsides of our knees. Fold your knees in toward one another. And then you can extend your legs long and lie down onto your back for a moment of stillness in final Shavasana. Palms of the hands shine up toward the sky. Smooth out the edges of your inhales and exhales. Notice sensation in the body. And when you're ready, bring some gentle movements to your fingers and toes. Wake up the limbs. You can hug the knees into the chest and gently roll over to one side. Press yourself back up to sit. One last time, we will breathe all the way into the top together. And exhale, release. I want to thank you all for practicing with me. Let me know if you enjoyed the practice. It is always a joy to share yoga with the world. So thank you so much for being here.